Hello guys, Robot1 here, coming at you with a new Yu-Gi-Oh video, and in today's Yu-Gi-Oh video, I have for you my 4th place top 4 hero deck profile from locals this week. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, this version of Heroes was inspired by the national first place one. I think it was the Danish Nationals, I'm not too sure which one it was, but I kind of took inspiration from that list, kind of made my own version of it, and I'm going to be honest guys, I don't really like how his list played. I don't like how he was playing Super Plays, I don't like how the Dark Angel is in the main deck. There was a lot of things that I didn't really like while playing this at locals and also through testing, and I realized, hey, if through testing it's not really liking but it works, I'll take it to locals and see how it goes there. And at locals it wasn't that great either. I felt like, yes, I did go X11, which is 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss, but I didn't feel like the deck performed as well as I would have liked it to do. I felt like it was kind of less consistent to how much I would have liked it. It didn't really have as much power plays, couldn't break boards as easily, and I'm going to be honest, I think the build that he played for that Nationals was correct because obviously it was a very branded heavy format, and that's why he was playing like Super Play and all this stuff in the main. But I'm thinking now that is definitely not the way to play it, and I would change a lot of this stuff to more fit my normal play style of heroes. But in this video we're going to get through this deck profile. I'm going to tell you my reasoning, my choices, things that I might change cards out for, things that I might should put in, and we're just going to go ahead and have a nice video here and go through it there. But just to talk about the matches, round 1 was against Drytron. I won that game. Game 1 he Vanity's Ruler, then I reverse sweep. Round 2 was a hero mirror match. I got super bullied game 1, then game 2 and 3 I just won again, like I was able to smack it. Round 3 was against Branded. Game 1, just he went first, I was able to break his board and win the game. Game 2, pretty much I bricked, I opened double melee, polymerization, droll, and some other irrelevant card, and I just literally made EP pass, and then it kept going back and forth until we hit a point where he could just essentially kill me, and I scooped with like 5 minutes left of time, went into time, and I made the Destiny Hero Dystopia to burn him, but he had the imperm, so it was a draw. Then we go into round 4, which was against another branded player, my mate Reese, and pretty much that match was, in one I lost, then he won game 2, and then game 3 I purely won just because I had the by the grave to be able to just banish away his target for the branded in red, because he had to use the mirror jade on his own turn, and I just won from there. And then the final round was against, funny enough, my PK deck variant of it, where they changed a few things in it. And game 1 I lost the dice roll, he goes full combo, so obviously the Ophion with the Brave package, Fog Blades, all of it. And then game 2 I go first and I just completely brick. I draw Mali, Super Poly, Polymerization, Ash Blossom, and another spell card that I couldn't use, and it was just like, well, what am I doing here? But honestly, I think the deck did have its plays. I feel like it does have its own kind of style to it, but for me personally, I think I'm going to change this up. I'm going to put it more towards my own style, but this is just a deck profile to show you guys, yes, this build does exist, yes, it is decent, but I'm going to make some changes and pretty much make it towards more me, seeing as I did make some changes to the original build to make it more towards me, but I think I'm going to go away from that variant from now, because like honestly I feel like there's better variants out there. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the deck profile, show you guys what is in it, and we'll just have some fun showing off this deck profile. Hell, I've got high rarity hero cards and you can look at the pretty things, so yeah. Let's go ahead and begin. So starting off, we play the 3 Stratos Starlights. I picked these up, I'm very happy with them. Pretty much Stratos plus any other hero should be full combo in this deck, where you're going to be ending on Dark Angel along with maybe DPE and Sunriser, and if you get the chance to be able to go into Shadow Mist, to be able to then revive it or go ahead and special summon it with Hero Lives, then you can also end on like Dark Law if you haven't opened the Mask Change as well. So yeah, this is a very, very strong card. You want to be playing 3 of him in this kind of build, and he's just very nice. Like honestly, the 3 Stratos did help a lot, and I really do like him at 3 in this build. So yeah, just normal summon him, search any hero, very, very strong. Next, we played 2 Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist is literally just whenever it's into the graveyard, you get to search a hero card, so we're going to be setting them off the Vision Hero Vion, the Foolish Burial that we play, sometimes other things, and we can discard him with Vision Hero Faris, and just search any hero from our deck, and also we can special summon him to search any Mask Change from our deck as well. So you play 2 of him. I originally liked to play him at 1, but I kind of am going back to more the 2 ratio myself, just because in the later game he does come up quite a bit, and I do like him for that as well. So 2 Shadow Mist, and then 1 Liquid Soldier. This is the only elemental heroes that we play. Liquid Soldier is just really nice because it's a draw 2, discard 1, so we can dig into our deck, maybe draw some hand traps, maybe draw a Mask Change, maybe draw some really useful things. And also, if we do want to, we can normal summon him and then just go ahead and special summon Shadow Mist or Stratos from the graveyard and get some consistency there, giving us a search for Mask Change or another hero card. And also, he's just the main target for us to go into Absolute Zero. My favorite card, as everybody should know. Those are the elemental heroes. For other heroes though, for the visions, we play the 3 Faris, 2 Increase, and 2 Violent. Pretty much this ratio I think is actually the correct ratio. The ratio that the person who tops Nats was playing was only 1 Increase. I think that is completely incorrect, because if you draw the 1 Increase, the best board that you can end on normally is just going to be a DPE. And I seeing as that is actually not the best kind of hero board you can actually make, I felt, okay, I'll play the 2 Increase and we'll go from there. And honestly, if you draw one, it's fine, because that means you still have the other one in the deck. I feel like it's a mandatory 2 of. You cannot play less than 2 of this card, because if you play 1 and you draw it, your hands are just infinitely worse. Now, if you're playing maybe a 60 card variant, it's a bit different, but because you're not always going to draw it, but you definitely play 2 in the 40 card variant. If you draw 1, it's going to suck. If you draw both, yes, you're not going to be able to do a lot, but you can still do things. So yeah, we play 2 and then 2. There's all the Vision heroes. Going on to the Destiny heroes, we play 2 Mali, 1 Denier, 1 Dark Angel, 1 Plasma. Pretty much, Mali is Mali. You banish it from the graveyard to go ahead and special summon another copy of it from the deck. Denier is absolutely insane, whereas if it's normal or special summoned, you can go ahead and target a Destiny hero card that's in your deck, hand, graveyard, wherever, and put it on top of your deck, so that means more consistency there. And you've also got the ability to just go ahead and special summon it from the graveyard if you have a Destiny hero on your field or in your graveyard. So it's a free special summon, and also just the nice bit where you can just recycle the Mali, just so you can keep using Mali throughout the game, which is really good. We play 1 Dark Angel to go ahead and summon to your opponent's board. If you've got 3 Destiny heroes in your graveyard, where you can pretty much get with a Denier, a Mali, and also by killing your own DP in the graveyard, you discard this card, you summon it to your opponent's boards, and then any of their spell effects or actual spell cards they activate are negated and destroyed, and they just can't play the game. This is amazing against Despia, but I feel like in the current format in the main deck, it's not actually necessary. So I'm gonna be honest, I think this is a side card right now, just for Despia and decks that do revolve around spell cards. But in the main, I don't think it's very, very strong. But I do appreciate the guy who won the Nationals for making this more well known, because honestly, now that I know more about it and now that I've realized how good it is, I definitely will be siding this. This is a mandatory side deck card, and it's very, very strong. And then obviously 1 Plasma, because if we go against like Thunderies or anything, we just summon Plasma, and then it's basically skill drain. They can't get over it, and we're just going to win 9 times out of 10. Card is absolutely insane, and also it's 1,000 eyes as well, so you can just go ahead and steal your opponent's monster, and it'll gain attack, which is really nice too. And then the last monsters we play is 3 Ash Blossom and Joy Springs, just because it's the most staple hand trap in the game. We only played 3 hand traps. That's one of my problems as well with this deck. I wish we played a few more hand traps. I wanted to put imperms in, but I felt like because we didn't have space to keep it at 40 with the super pulleys and all this other stuff, I had to only play the 3 Ash, and I did kind of regret that, but hey, that's just how it be. Going on to consistency spells though, we're playing 3 Hero Lives. Thank you for Konami for giving us 3. 2 Fusion Destiny, 1 Rota, and 1 Foolish Burial. Now, obviously, all of these cards should be leading to a combo of some sort. The 3 Hero Lives allows you to special summon your Shadow Mist or your Stratos from your deck, just to allow you to get any hero card or a Mask Change to allow you to go ahead and make Dark Lore. The 2 Fusion Destiny is literally 1 card Dark Angel combo. If you open Fusion Destiny, you should guarantee that you make your Dark Angel every single time. You've got the Rota, which can search any warrior in your deck, so you can go ahead and search the Stratos, you can go ahead and search the Shadow Mist to discard the Forest. You can go ahead and search a Vion to go ahead and normal summon it if your hand is really that bad. You can do a lot with the Rota, and then you play the 1 Foolish to go ahead and send the Shadow Mist to the graveyard, or maybe a Mali or something along those lines to the graveyard, just so you can go ahead and have the search effect, or to be able to special summon a Mali from the deck. These are basically just the consistency cards. You don't need any other really consistency cards. Like the 3 Hero Lives are obviously just 3 Stratos. Then you've got the 2 Fusion Destiny, which is just, it's Fusion Destiny, it summons DPE and can also lead to a full board most of the time. Like it's 1 card combo for the entire deck. And you've also got Rota and also Foolish, just as those 2 really good, strong consistency cards there. Going on to fusion cards in general though, we played 3 Super Polymerization, 1 Miracle Fusion, and 1 Polymerization. Pretty much the 3 Super Poly, as I said, I don't really like it in the main deck. I feel like we're in a format where Super Poly isn't super insane. Yes, if you go up against Branded or maybe a mirror match, the card is really, really strong, but in general, I don't think the card is great, and I don't think you really need it. We play the 1 Miracle Fusion for obvious reasons. We search it off our Sunriser, so we can go ahead and make more fusion plays and potentially OTK. And then the 1 Polymerization, which I actually do agree with the guy from the Nationals who won it. Yes, I think 2 Polymerization is actually the way to go. I played 1 obviously in this build, and that was kind of like to alleviate bricks, but testing the build more and going into it more, I feel like a second Polymerization would have been a lot better at times. Just because you obviously play Vion, then you can just go ahead and use a second Vion to search the second Poly. And if you do revive a Vion by any means, you still have that ability with Vion to go ahead and search it, because the ability to search Polymerization isn't a hard once per turn. So I actually do kind of agree with that method of playing the second Polymerization in this deck, just so you have that more fusion access and don't have to rely on Wonder Driver in the deck. But if you do want to play 1, that is also an option, but I do actually kind of agree with that. Throughout the tournament, I did actually kind of realize, yeah, I actually kind of wish I did have a second Poly a few times. So yeah, I kind of do agree with that, and I'll probably up the number of Poly in the deck and see how it goes for me there. But I do agree with that. That was something I actually did kind of agree with going forward. But yeah, I don't like Super Poly. I feel like it's only good in like 1 matchup or the mirror match. Going on to other spells though, we played obviously the 3 Mask Change, Summon Dark Law, yada yada yada, stuff like that. 3 Droplets. We realistically only need 2 cards in our hand to combo. We just need a hero plus a forest. So the Droplets just discard like 2 to 3 cards. If we open Hero Lives, then we just send that as well and get a free Stratos and just go from there. Honestly, Droplets is insane, and you have to be playing it in almost any deck this format. And then 1 Called by the Grave for hand traps. I kind of like Cross Out in the deck. I did play Cross Out in the last list that I played, but yeah, maybe I'll put it back in. I don't know. Right now, this is just the testing phase, and yeah, but honestly, 1 Called by is insane. You have to play it. It's great against the Branded matchup. It's great against DPE. It's great against any cards in Grave, so you really do have to play it. And also, it just stops hand traps. You know that Ash Blossom? Negated. But yeah. So that's the main deck. Honestly, as I said in the main deck, there are things that I'll change. Like I'll probably cut the Super Polys. I'll probably play a second Polymerization. I'm definitely going to side the Dark Angel. Like there's a lot of things I'd actually change in this list that I've kind of just realized over time and over this tournament and through testing that, yeah, there's a lot of things I don't agree with the Danish Nationals winner who played this deck, but there is things that I do agree with as well. So we'll see what happens with that. Going on to the extra deck though, we played 2 Extra Hero Cross Crusader. This is just a really strong card in all honesty. Like just being able to summon a Destiny hero from the graveyard and then trigger this effect to tribute and search any hero is absolutely insane. It's definitely mandatory in the deck at 2, and Konami, make a holo please. We got rares, but I need better rarity. Come on. 1 Wonder Driver. I still think if I played 2 Polymerization, I'd still play 1 of this because this card is really, really strong. Just being able to set like Mask Change or Polymerization or Miracle Fusion back to the board is really, really good. And I came up a lot where I just went into this and just went into hero plays. Like the card is really good, really strong, and I really do think that this is just an insane card. 2 Masked Hero Dark Law. Dark Law is just insane. It's Macrocosmos. I feel like the second is a mandatory one of, like, honestly, you have to play 2 of this card. You could play 3, but I don't think you can justify that in this deck. But 2 is mandatory. Card's insane. It's Macrocosmos, and if your opponent searches, you just banish a card. There is nothing wrong with that any way, shape, or form. 1 Acid just to clear back row. I didn't summon it at all throughout the tournament, but it's there for that reason. Going on to Fusion Heroes, we played 1 Sunriser to search our Miracle Fusion / an extra pop when another hero battles, and also increases all of our heroes' attack. 1 Absolute Zero, favorite card in the game as all of you should know, and actually insane card where we can make him with like DPE, Sunriser, and also himself to just have an Raigeki, a pop at any point in time. Card is very, very strong, and you can also go ahead and summon him later on in the game just to have that Raigeki feature as well, which is really nice. 1 Escuriado, this is here because we play the Super Poly, where we just go ahead and set an elemental hero, fusion away, and go from there. That's also kind of one of the reasons why I didn't like the Polymerization, because to be able to utilize it with your heroes, you have to have Stratos or Shadow Mist or Liquid Soldier, and I didn't really like that. I felt like if we could make like Escuriado or Shining or any of these other heroes with just like a Destiny hero or anything along those lines, I'd have liked it a lot more. Like with Absolute Zero, you could just use a hero monster plus a water monster. I would have preferred it a lot more, but hey, that's just how some of it is, and that's how it goes sometimes. But hey, it worked when it worked, and it can be kind of decent as well. We can summon it off Miracle Fusion as well, which is nice if we've gone ahead on the Future Destiny route. So yeah, it comes up, but I just kind of like, that's just one of my gripes with Super Poly in this build as well, where you have to have the Elemental Hero or you can't use the Super Poly to suck up a Dark Monster. One Shining gets big, it's just a big monster. It can add back heroes from Banished Zone if it leaves the board. It's kind of decent there, and we play the one of it. One Great Tornado, this is literally here for Thunder players. If we open a hero plus Super Poly, then we can just go ahead and use their Wind Barrier statue, make the Great Tornado, and be able to play the game. One DPE and one Dystopia. Pretty much, these are the two Destiny Hero fusions that we play. We play Dystopia because it's a free pop and can also go ahead and just burn our opponent, so it's good for time. And then we play DPE for obvious reasons. It's DPE, it's an insane card, and it's just really, really strong. Just the fact that it can keep reviving itself, can revive other Destiny heroes. We play tons of heroes in this deck, so we're always having at least 1,000 decrease on all of our opponent's monsters. The card is absolutely insane and very, very strong. And then the last two cards, which are Super Poly targets, is one Dragostapelio and one Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Literally, these are just here just for Super Poly targets. Dragostapelio is probably the better one just because we can go ahead and have a negate, but the Starving Venom is there for the two darks and can also be a dark hole as well, which is kind of nice too. But that's the main and the edge deck. Honestly, I would change a lot about this. Like, I do want to make things more my route, where I play like more equals and things along those lines, but yeah, this is just the build that I kind of made going off of his list and trying to see how it worked and trying to see how I liked it. But there are things that I would definitely change to make it different. There's also a side deck as well that we played. This is just like your own preference, but this is the one that I played. Free Droll because it's Droll. Free Nib just to go ahead and have that access. 2 Cosmic for Branded and like Scythe decks. Free Lightning Storm just for removal. 1 Red Reboot for trap decks, and then 3 Dimensional Barrier just for like Branded and all of this other stuff. Like, yes, we negate our own Fusion Monsters effects, but in all honesty, we don't really care most of the time because we still have access to them on the following turn, and yeah, Dark Law may get negated if we do use this, but we're only really putting it in against like Sword Soul and Branded decks that, yeah, Dark Law is good, but doesn't do everything against, so yeah. But that's just pretty much the side deck and everything. Honestly, this deck, I will say, good props to the guy who made it. Like, I changed things to make it my own sort of build, but good props to him. Like, the Dark Angel is definitely something that's very, very interesting and has a lot of, well, ground to it and can actually be very, very useful. Do I think it's a main deck card right now though? No, not really. It is a strong card, but it's not amazing. But that's just me though. I feel like it's more of a side deck card. I'm definitely going to put this in almost every side deck now I play with this deck, just because I feel like having access to the Imperial Order against a Branded deck or anything along those lines is really, really nice. But in the main deck, I feel like it's not that great. I feel like it was strong, but whenever it happened, they either just had maybe a link Karibo, or they had a way to link it off, even though I had DPE because they had an additional extension. So yeah, if you're playing as Branded, it's a mandatory put in. If it's not, that's just me. And yeah, congratulations to that guy though who won Nationals with Heroes and all of that, but I don't really like the build too much. There's a few things that I agree with, a few things that I don't, and we're definitely going to do a lot more testing with Heroes again, guys, because honestly, as we all know, it's my favorite deck. Now that Nationals and all that stuff is over, I can actually have fun with Yu-Gi-Oh, playing all these different decks again, playing tons of different strategies and giving you guys tons of new content. And yeah, but that's all I have to say, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this deck profile of my hero deck that came 4th place at Locals. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. And Robout1 signing out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Later all.